Lord started unleashing these prophecies, it's like a domino effect. One prophecy, all right, opens the doors to other prophecies, man. You know, just like how the Lord Yahushua said in Matthew the 24th chapter that in the last days there shall be pestilence. The pestilence came out, and that pestilence opened up the door to all these other prophecies coming to pass.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did it start to work, Randy?
No, I'm just doing it the old-fashioned way.
Okay, come.
It says because it will surely come, it will not tarry. Yeah, so tarry meaning prolong, because now the Lord, you know, is manifesting his prophecy on the earth, man.
That's right.
Because his servants and prophets are crying out, man. You know, that faithful damsel, you know, crying out, man, of the oppressor, you know, because of Esau, the so-called white man. You know, so now the Lord is speeding up his prophecies for his elect's sake, man.
Isaiah 62:5, Sean.
No, I got it.
Yeah, it's because Esau's sins have reached up into heaven, bro.
Yeah. He just went back up there.
Yeah.
You know, with that whole little Bezos shit.
Yeah.
Still in the phallic in the air, in the heavens,
Yeah.
man. To penetrate the heavens. So I look at that as these devils said, fuck the Most High.
Yeah.
That's a mockery of the Lord, the heavens, and the chariots too, man. You know? Hey, that's how you know. I was just gonna say, that's how you know we're about to roll on this place, man. Yahweh Shemel Shah is about to roll on this place. The book of Isaiah, chapter 62, verse 5. For as a young man marrieth a virgin.
Salakia, 6.
Oh, verse 6, God. Alright, so book of Isaiah, chapter 62, verse 6. I have set a watchman upon thy walls, O Jerusalem.
Now, the ancient role of a watchman was to stand up on a wall and look and scout out for dangers that could potentially come into the city. In the ancient world, the cities were walled. So you had watchmen or guards, as you would call them today, security guards, as you would call them today. They watching over the city. And when particular things happen or about to come down the pipe, they will blow the alarm, sound the trumpet, so the inhabitants of the city to ready themselves. So the Lord is saying he set up watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, right? Go ahead.
Yes. And it reads, which shall never hold their peace, day nor night.
Day nor night. So it's liking the prophets into watchmen, because we're up watching the different things that's taking place in the earth and making it to the precepts with the precepts, and then we're formulating videos and content to put out on the internet.
Can I say something?
Yeah, kind of.
And that's spiritual, because, you know, with dealing with the ancient prophets, they had watches, they had different shifts, and they had different shifts during the time of the day. So the prophets are doing videos, like you said, morning and night, man. And in the afternoon, early morning, late night.
That's right. So collectively, we're read that part again.
Which shall never hold their peace.
So collectively, we're not holding our peace because we're one body, and there's videos coming out pretty much every couple of minutes. You know, if you subscribe to a host of brothers, every time you hit the refresh button, it's just bam, another video. And it happens all day. So we're not holding our peace.
We're crying out like that betrothed virgin, bro.
Yeah, that's been taken by unlawfully by someone.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, hey, like
Deuteronomy
Elder
22.
Apostle, I was gonna say, like Elder Apostle Tar said, you know, it's physically impossible to keep up with Great Millstone,
Right?
Because of how diligent, you know, brothers are, and how much more the other camps too that teach the same doctrine, that's on the same spirit, man, same fervent and diligent spirit. You know, it's just physically impossible to keep up with the House of David, man.
Which goes to show you that the Most High is involved, because he's the one that provides the increase.
All right, and it reads, you want to continue on, because that's it.
Oh no, that's it. Let's pull out the like prophecy type precept, Jeremiah 28:8.
I gotta sit here.
Okay, get cool.
Bring out.
Yeah, whatever.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 28, verse 8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries, against great kingdoms, of war and evil and of pestilence.
Now, a little background to what's going on here. You got two prophets going back and forth. All right, one had the truth, one didn't. You had Hananiah and then you had Jeremiah. All right, which goes to show you that you're going to have prophets that's going to be at odds. Just as you got great millstone against pretty much everybody, you know. At this time, Jeremiah was the prophet that the Lord was dealing with. And then Hananiah came with something else contrary to Jeremiah. So, matter of fact, let's just read it from the top.
God. All right, so the book of Jeremiah chapter 28, verse 1. And it came to pass the same year, in the beginning of the reign of Zedekiah, the king of Judah, in the 4th year, and in the 5th month, that Hananiah, the son of Azur, the prophet, which was of Gibeon, spake unto me in the house of Yahweh Shem Shai, in the presence of the priests and of all the people, saying.
Yeah, so this is a prophet that was coming in the name of the Lord, right?
All right, thus speaketh Yahweh Shem Shai of hosts, the power of Israel, saying, I have broken the yoke of the king of Babylon.
Which he didn't, because the Lord told Jeremiah that, look, you finna be over here in Babylon a long season. You finna be over there 70 years. All right? Go over there, do your thing, don't rebel against him, because this is judgment. But then you had Hananiah coming up saying, oh, the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai has broken the yoke of the king of Babylon. You know, he's coming in the name of the Lord. So this shows us that you're going to have people that's coming in the name of the Lord, all right, prophesying lies, man.
All right, I've broken the yoke of the king of Babylon. Within 2 full years will I bring again into this place all the vessels of Yahweh Shem Shai's house.
And see, that was contrary to what the Lord told Jeremiah. See, Hananiah told some 2 years, the Lord is going to bring the vessels, you know, back that the Babylonians took during the Babylonian siege of Jerusalem. And then everything is going to go back well. But here in Jeremiah 29 and 10, I start at 9. I start at 8. For thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the power of Yasha'Allah. Let not your prophets or your diviners that be in the midst of you deceive you. Neither hearken to your dreams, which he caused to be dreamed. But they prophesy falsely unto you in my name. I have not sent them, saith Yahweh. For thus saith Yahweh, that after 70 years be accomplished at Babylon, I will visit you and perform my good word towards you and causing you to return to this place. So that was the truth that the Lord was giving to Jeremiah. Hananiah told him in 2 years.
All right, so it reads, within 2 years will I bring again into this place all the vessels of Yahweh Shem Shai's house that Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, took away from this place and carried them to Babylon.
So he was prophesying peace. You know, that's how we're going to get into, you know, the prophet that prophesied peace unto you. When the word of prophet shall come to pass, then shall the Lord, then shall you know that the Lord truly sent him. Hananiah was prophesying peace. And that's what these other camps do. They're not talking about Jacob's trouble, you know. They're not giving people warning about the MOTB and the juice. You know what I mean? They pretty much prophesying peace. Just keep the commandments.
And they also not getting visited by chariots.
I've
been talking about other camps that have been being visited by chariots. There are none. That's a great millstone thing.
Right.
That's a doctrine of Yahweh Shai thing. That's chariots.
Yeah. Right. Doctrine of Jeremiah type of thing. Go ahead,
Yeah, I saw one yesterday. You know, all night grid. You know, it was like a light. I thought it was an airplane. I looked back, it wasn't there no more. It was big. It was bright.
I seen the so-called shooting star the other night, man.
Oh, that's the bomb.
We know it's a chariot of the Most High descending upon the earth. Go ahead, Shalom. They show love. Much love they do show.
So it reads that Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, took away from this place and carried them into Babylon. And I will bring again to this place Jeconiah, the son of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, with all the captives of Judah that went into Babylon.
And I believe his son died. I think he was one of the ones that Nebuchadnezzar called his slave.
Oh, that was Zedekiah.
Yeah, because King Zedekiah.
Oh, yeah.
And it reads, with all the captives of Judah that went into Babylon, said the Yahweh Shem Shai, for I will break the yoke of the king of Babylon. Then the prophet Jeremiah said unto the prophet Hananiah, in the presence of the priests and in the presence of all the people that stood in the house of Yahweh Shem Shai.
So Jeremiah stood up for righteousness. He said, wait, hold on. Check this out. You talking about 2 years? Hold on, I'm going to tell y'all what's going down.
And it reads, even the prophet Jeremiah, amen. it's like Yahweh Hashem Yahushai do so. Alright? Yahweh Hashem Yahushai perform thy words which thou hast prophesied to bring again the vessels, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and all that is carried away captive.
Yeah, so he's saying that if the Lord dealing with you, well, so be it. Let it happen. Right?
From Babylon into this place. Nevertheless, hear thou now this word that I speak in thine ears and in the ears of all the people.
So Jeremiah like, well, hear this though. Let me speak. Go ahead.
The prophets that have been before me, and the prophet, it's like, and before thee of old, both against many countries,
Prophesy against me.
and against great kingdoms of war, evil, and pestilence. The prophets that which prophesieth of peace, when the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet know that Yahweh Hashem Yahushai truly sent him.
So Jeremiah was giving Hananiah in the congregation thereof the history of the prophets. All right, prophesying of both against many countries of war and of evil, of pestilence. Right.
And that kind of set the standards, like that.
Right. Yeah.
What being prophet was about.
Right. Now, when you read later on in this chapter, Hananiah, the Most High killed Hananiah, got his ass out the way. You know. Matter of fact, read the last 3 verses.
Yeah, he talks about
You prophesying falsely in the name of the Most High is going to require that, man. That's why we come out here to prophesy in truth and sincerity, you know, to give our people warning of the things that's to come. We ain't prophesying peace to y'all. Peace is coming when the kingdom of heaven is established on earth, which is rulership of the Israelites. Go ahead.
All right, and it reads, jumping up to verse 15 of chapter 28 of the book of Jeremiah. All right, and it reads, then said the prophet Jeremiah unto Hananiah the prophet, hear now, Hananiah, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai hath not sent thee. Yahweh Hashem Yahushai hath not sent thee.
See, the Lord ain't dealing with you. So this would today would be, you know, what we seeing today with the various camps going at it. You know what I mean? Jeremiah is basically telling Hananiah, like, look, the Lord ain't dealing with you. You know? But then these camps will say, oh man, all y'all brothers, y'all got hatred, you know, against brothers, y'all got enmity against brothers. But it's not about the relationship with brothers, it's about the truth. It's about the Most High's word.
And these brothers don't, these camps don't understand that you can't preach peace, you got to preach salvation.
Right.
And there can be no salvation without evidence of turmoil.
Exactly. Yep.
Because you're being saved from something.
Right.
So there's no peace. You can't get saved from peace.
Right.
All right, but thou makest this people to trust in a lie.
Yeah, you see, that how you doing? These all other false camps is having these people trust in lies. You know? Oh, the MOTB ain't the MOTB.
It's philosophy.
It's philosophy. You got these people trusting in these lies, man.
Therefore, thus said Yahweh Hashem Yahushai.
So Jeremiah rebuked him. Look, man, you making these people trust in lies. You know? I'm thinking about Elder Manasseh Zakbar and the many videos he do. You know? So, go ahead.
Therefore, thus said Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, behold, I will cast thee from off the face of the earth.
So Jeremiah said, look, in the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, you will get put to death.
Alright? This year thou shalt die.
Jeremiah telling a fellow Israelite that was prophesying in the name of the Lord, but lies though, that he finna get put to death. You know? And it's like these other camps, like y'all don't read those type of, you know, precepts. That, and you know, that which have been is that which shall be. So that was going on back then, you're gonna see that today.
That's right.
It's about preaching the truth, man. It's not about, oh, you an Israelite, but you believe in something contrary to me. It's all good. We're Israelites, so you my brother, I love you.
Right.
You know, we finna put our differences to the side. Nah, Jeremiah wasn't talking like that. Jeremiah was like, look, you preaching lies in the name of the Lord, and you finna die in a year.
And it reads, this year shalt thou die, because thou hast taught rebellion against Yahweh Hashem Yahushai.
Yeah, because by teaching these other doctrines, you're really teaching rebellion because you're born against the spirit of the Most High. If the Most High saying, look, the MOTB is the RFID chip, you know, and you talking about it's a philosophy, it's a way of life, and that all these other nations can be a part of salvation, and America is in Babylon the Great, you rebelling against Yahweh Hashem Yahushai.
We went to a elder prophet that's actually blaspheming
The Holy Spirit. Yeah. Yeah. Because you lying
there's
on
no
the truth.
forgiveness for that.
Isaiah 8:20. It says, "To the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them."
Yeah.
So you're supposed to speak according to the words of Yahweh Shemon Shai and what he says. Because what Hananiah was doing, that was coming out of his own heart, to pacify the people. Jake during that time.
Yeah, he had a lot of false prophets with, prophesy smooth things to the king.
Yeah.
Like basically the situation with Ahab and Jezebel.
Oh, yeah.
The prophets of Baal.
Nah. So Hananiah the prophet died the same year in the 7th month.
Came to pass on.
Hey, number completion. Number
Yeah.
7.
So, but let's get into these prophecies. We can go ahead and go to. I know you saw in 2 Esdras 9, get that, and then 2 Esdras 15. Matter of fact, let's start at 2 Esdras 16, and then we go back.
We can go to the beginning of Psalms, and look at Matthew.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. No, you want to get 2 Esdras 9?
Say Esdras 9 and 1. He answered me then and said, "Measure thou the time diligently in the self."
And when you measure something, you're judging it. Like if you got like some sugar or something, and you're measuring it, you're judging how much sugar you have. So we're supposed to measure the time. We're supposed to be judging the time. Like, okay, what time period are we in? What's going on in the world? And the ultimate measuring stick of discerning what time period that you're in is the prophecies. So we're measuring the time diligently in itself, like constantly watching the things that's taking place in the earth and measuring it with the precepts. That will tell us what time and season that we're in. Now, no man knows the day or hour when our Lord doth come. However, he set up signs.
It says, "And when thou seest part of the signs pass,"
And it says seest. So we got to be out here standing upon our watch, because there's going to be particular things shown unto us. There's going to be particular things that we see. And we're going to mate it with these precepts, man.
it says, "Which I have told thee before. Then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made."
And we see the visitation of the Lord happen. You got all these weather catastrophes happening in Europe, all right, in China. You got upwards of the people in the UK, France, Germany, Australia, Cuba, Haiti, South America. You got this truth, flooding the whole earth. And I was playing the game. I was playing GTA, and I see a motherfucker died, and the name came up. It said Israelito 510. I'm like, oh wow, that's a Latin brother that's in the truth, But that just goes to show you that the truth of the Most High is covering the whole face of the earth. No matter where you go, you seeing Israelite something,
And the Latin tribes be having biblical names too.
Yeah.
So some brothers be called Ephraim,
Joseph.
Jose, Joseph.
Moises.
Yeah.
Or Mary.
Yeah.
Always can find a Mary.
Yeah.
Juan.
I got a quick piece.
Pedro.
This is Habakkuk 2 and 14. "For the earth shall be filled with the knowledge of the glory of Yahweh Shemon Shai, as the waters cover the sea."
Yeah, so everybody know about the truth.
The truth and the prophecies, that's the Lord of Lord, being in the earth. The prophecies, being manifested, according to Yahweh Shemon Shai's will.
And ever since we've been back on the battleground, every week people pulling up Shalom, Yahweh Shemon Shai, Shalom. Big bus drivers just pulling over and hopping out, saying what's up, trying to get the truth.
Back to second Esdras.
You still got some on that?
It's going to be a lot.
If you had equipment,
It's still Matthew 24.
Okay.
We bring that out.
I mean, we got time, right?
Going back to second Esdras 9 and verse 3, it says, "Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and upwards of the people in the world."
It was just an 8.1 earthquake that hit. What was that area?
South America?
Nah, it was a weirdo. My phone don't have data on it.
I know one of them hit a 6.1 and hit in Peru. South America.
It says quake info, strong magnified 5.4 earthquake, AG and C.
AGC, okay, that's over there on the eastern part of the world.
Uttermost.
Yeah, the
Uttermost part from here.
uttermost part.
Yeah.
It says Mexico earthquake felt in southern Arizona. Small 2.8 earthquake hits northeast of Hollister early Sunday morning.
Yeah, so you have diverse places. Them is over here, and over here. You know, earthquakes happening.
You got Peru, Ecuador struck by strong earthquake. That was 2 days ago. So it's like, you know, it's a lot of updates on earthquakes throughout the world, man. You know. Going back to 2nd Esdras 9, verse 4, it says, "Then shalt thou will understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning."
Yeah, so the Lord always dealt with prophecy. He spoke of these days even from the beginning.
It says, verse 5, it says, "For like as all that is made in the world have a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest."
Manifest meaning made known or made obvious. It's going to be made obvious that we in the last days, man. You know, we in the last, few seconds of Esau, Edom's rulership. You know? Because this devil's coming down with great wrath trying to push his agenda. You got it, bro.
I was just gonna say it's visible now. You know,
Yeah.
you remember that dude that came through, that little streamer guy, that blogger? Hey, he even said like, "Yo, we are at the end of times." You know, and that's the spirit too. You know, even though I did a lesson yesterday, the end is manifest. I was going into it. I didn't bring out the earthquakes. You know, I didn't bring out Peru. You know, but I just said like, hey, man, these times, man, there's a lot of earthquakes popping off, man. Hey, see, even Northern tried to show love, man. It's just ridiculous, you know. But hey, man, how do I put it to you? You know what I'm saying? You know, I didn't necessarily list earthquakes, but you still had earthquakes out there, so it was all in the spirit, man. And that's the times that we're in. You know, seeing that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. It's like Long Beach Boulevard, man.
Fish, unless they strategically putting that smell through the vents.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got it, bro.
Yeah, God. So I was just gonna bring out, unless you want that.
Yeah, it's probably read down there half that chapter.
You can read on.
So the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 6. All right, and it reads, "And ye shall hear," or matter of fact, let me start at verse 4, since we're going into the false prophets.
Yeah.
All right, and the reason Yahushua answered and said unto them, "Take heed that no man deceive you." All right, because there's going to be a lot of deception going on out here, man. All right, hey, even in Israel, man, you got these different camps pushing wayward doctrines, pushing abominable abominations, man. You know, and it reads, "For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, and shall deceive many." You know, and basically saying that they got the way. You know, that by going out there and buying, a land and going to populate that's the way. You know. Anyways, it reads verse 6. "Ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet." All right, and you got a lot of turmoil going on, man. You know, like yesterday, like again, I got to bring up yesterday. You know what I'm saying? I was just going to the news on the RT, which is Russia Today. It's a good alternative source of news. And I couldn't even do a lesson on just one topic because so many things are going on. Ads just cover everything, man.
Yeah, that's why brothers' videos, they be so, the titles be this and this and this and that. It's just overwhelming things. So many things happening. It's like, in order to cover it all, you got to make a long ass title.
Right, or you could just, hit it with, hit many birds with one stone by putting the title like "The End is Manifest."
Yeah.
Because that's just, the overall, message of it through the spirit, man.
And some brothers use emojis.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Us in the truth, we understand that's just the Most High speaking.
And it reads, all right, "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars." You had an Israeli ship just get hit by a drone out there, man. Them Israelis, man, they don't like to get hit, man. All right, them little small handsome 1948ers, they don't like to get hit. They're like that Dragon Ball Z character Frieza. You know, and Goku told his ass, "Oh, you like to dish it out, but you can't take anything." That's them. You know, they a little thing happens, they go and they go berserk and they start bombing Ishmael. They start, you know, doing a whole bunch of stuff, man, out there in the Gaza Strip. You know, so imagine how they gonna react to this. You know, it shall be the least of the brethren. All right, so it reads, "For nations shall for ye shall hear of wars, rumors of wars. Ye shall see that ye be not troubled." Okay, see that we be not troubled because these are the things that are happening, and these are the things that are written in the scriptures, man. All right, this is all planned out by Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai since the beginning, and it's written to deliver us, man. All right, this thing, you know, think not that Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai has come to destroy you, but he's come to save you. All right, if you're of that number, if you're of the elect, and he's dealing with you, he's gonna deliver you with these plagues, man. All right, because while he's destroying the wicked, while he's destroying the wicked, all right, he's delivering the elect. Okay, the plagues are sent to punish the wicked, man, and that includes the 2/3 of our people, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, so it reads, "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet." All right, so even though, you know, these things are manifesting, so we're still, you know, not there yet. You know, it's basically letting us know that the going is going to get tough. So we got to hold fast. All right. And it reads, "For nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom." That's talking about global conflicts, man. You know, global conflicts. This is going to be overall division set in the earth. You know, even on the smaller levels, man. Even on the micro, you know, micro levels, you're gonna have you know, race riots and shit like that go down here. You know, it's just gonna be all-out chaos, Jacob's trouble, different factions rising up against each other, onto the big, which is different kingdoms rising up against each other, man. You know, hey, China is Moab, all right? There's tensions against them in the U.S., all right? So that's nation against nation right there, because the U.S. is ran by who? Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, all right? And that's why they mobilizing their troops out there in the Pacific Ocean to meet them Moabites head on, man. All right, things is getting ready to pop, and Jake is out here acting like ain't nothing going on, man.
But war ain't gonna hit into this RFID chip, which the MOTB is pushed.
Exactly.
You know,
that's why it says, you know, how does it say? But the end is not yet.
Right.
You know, because there's still a few prophecies that have to come to pass. You know, for everything to go down. All right, and it reads, "And there shall be famines." All right, so after kingdoms against kingdoms, and it reads, "And there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places." So that's, you know, these are the times that we're in.
And the famines, you see these food shortages too. Hence the food prices going up. Because you have my store, my local food for less by my house. Just get a pack of 4 chicken breasts. They used to cost like $11, like 2 months ago.
that's
Now they cost like $20.
Or if they're not blatantly raising the prices, what they do is they lower the amount of product that you get, but keep the prices the same.
Exactly.
So when you go into the store, you don't physically see a price difference. It's just the product that you're buying is a lot lighter.
Yeah, and that's against the law. Because we're supposed to have all just weight, just balances according to the law. But Esau he make you pay more than it's a decrease in size.
Yeah.
That's against that's a violation of the law, man. You know.
And Esau is an extreme violation of all the laws.
All of them.
Not to mention they mismanaging the inventory intentionally.
Yeah, right.
So there'd be a decrease in stock, you know. So that'll rise up the value.
Yeah.
Because on one side it'd be all junk food, but you gotta go to a whole different aisle to get some healthy alternative foods to replace that junk food. You know, such as your leaf tea, you know, and your healthy snacks and stuff. It's all set up by design. What you got?
All right, and this is basically the end of it. You know, verse 8. All these are the beginning of sorrows.
Yeah.
That's the time we're in.
Going back to 2nd Esdras 9, verse 6. Even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonders and powerful works, and endings and effects and signs. And everyone thou shalt be saved, and shalt be able to escape by his works, and by faith, whereby ye have believed.
Now this everyone that's going to be saved is everyone that's of the elect, and these are the individuals that's doing the work, man. They have faith, whereby ye have believed. You know. So the individuals that's presenting their bodies a living sacrifice. Just to hit Romans 12:1 real quick. You know. Now everybody not a prophet, you know, but you do have helps of the prophets, which is all a part of the ministry. But whether you're a man that's on the highways and the byways prophesying, a brother behind the camera helping, or a woman at the house, you still have faith and you believe. You know, that's the base level requirement to this of being the hopeful elect, the up and coming elect. You know, it's our faith and believing. You need that. That's your foundation.
It's like it, which 9 times out of 10 is going to be predestinated to be in that mindset. Because of the world we live in, it's very magnetic.
Yeah.
It draws you out of here. Why would someone even think like that in this world?
Right.
When you can, watch the movies and, do whatever other shit you can do here. Why would you be serving the Most High?
Right.
Book of Romans chapter 12 verse 1. I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yahweh, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto Yahweh, which is your reasonable service.
See, us presenting our bodies a living sacrifice on the highways and the byways, teaching and preaching, making videos all throughout the week, reading, praying, fasting, holding the commandments the best you can, the holy days the best you can. That's presenting your bodies a living sacrifice, which is acceptable unto the Most High, which is our reasonable service. You know, so these works is acceptable to the Most High. This is our service. This is our ministry. You know,
and our service is going to come to a glorious conclusion soon.
Absolutely.
All right, glorious conclusion soon. Okay. Speak about it like the men that worked at, if I'm not mistaken, was in the vineyard. The ones that they work for the same penny.
Oh yeah.
Hey, it's gonna be a time when the day's gonna end, and we're not gonna be out here forever, man. And guess what? When that happens, it's gonna be all hell on earth. Women won't be able to walk around freely because it's gonna be a whole bunch of men, chasing after them and stuff, man. They gonna want to cleave onto their wicked ass philosophies, wicked ass lifestyles. And guess what? They're gonna be given up into the wolves, so to speak, man. All right. Meanwhile, the elect is gonna be in a safe place, in the secret place. And Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah, pursuing Psalm 79:1.
It says, verse 8, shall be preserved from the said perils, and shall see my salvation in my land, and within my borders, for I have sanctified them for me from the beginning.
Now, where is these perils said at? It says shall be preserved from the said perils. The perils is said all in the prophecies, man. Behold, famine, death, plague, tribulation, anguish. Scriptures speak about Jacob's trouble, the time of trouble. Our Lord Yahweh Shai spoke about tribulation. All those perils meaning destruction. And we want to be preserved from that. We want to be kept alive because we made our bodies a living sacrifice. We believed on the Lord, man. While the world is laying in gross darkness and people just going on about their regular day, while in the background everything is shutting back down, these prophecies gonna catch them as a thief in the night, but not unto us, man.
Hey, I got you on Daniel chapter 12:1. As the brother said, the elect will be delivered, lo, one were of that number. And it reads, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people,
Which are the Israelites.
And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time.
So this time period that the scriptures is speaking about in Daniel 12 and Jeremiah 30:7, it says that this time is not going to be like any other time. This time is going to be worse than slavery, worse than the Trail of Tears, all right, worse than Jim Crow, Willie Lynch, different hangings and shit that Jake was experiencing during chattel slavery.
It's going to be worse than Haman.
Trying to bring his counsel, but it came to knock on his ass.
Yeah.
But yet and still, it's going to surpass all these different events that was trouble to the Israelites.
God. right, and it reads, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that time. I mean, it's like even to that same time, and at that time, meaning in the time of Jacob's trouble, thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book.
Right.
This is
So
the elect.
the elect is written in the book of life. And the elect are Israelites.
Israelites who call on the name, who rehearse the righteous acts, who will recognize themselves who they are in Israel.
They don't have no gal in their mouth.
They don't
Let's
have
get that
no gal.
Revelation 12. Because the truth is very important, all right, with salvation, man. You know, because this doctrine, this truth, is what, at the end of the day, it's Yahweh Shem Shai, but this doctrine is truth, enables that faith. The scriptures speak about you get faith by hearing of the word.
Right.
What is going on with these electronics, man? Damn, I ain't never had no problems with these phones, bro.
All right, quick precept. This is Psalms 32, verse 2. Blessed is the man to whom the Lord Yahweh, he does not iniquity, and in whose spirit there is no God. And that's the elect, you know. So, you know, gal means, you know, deceit, treachery, you know, speaking false doctrine, man.
Like Hananiah was.
Yeah. The elect not gonna have them characteristics, man. You know.
The book of Revelations chapter 12, and I'm gonna start at verse 10, and it reads, and I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength. All right, that's the thing too, man. The Lord, I'm telling you, our job, our reasonable service is gonna come to a glorious conclusion. All right, because there is gonna be a reward. With the service comes a reward. With the labor comes a reward.
Solomon said.
You got it. No, I was gonna say Yahweh Shem Shai is he's the perfect power. He's gonna give us that reward. Lord willing, we endure to the end. The elect.
And King Solomon said, in every labor there is profit.
Yeah. Every labor too.
So it reads, and I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength, and the power of the kingdom of our power, and the power of his anointed, which means, you know, Mashiach Yahweh Shai.
So it's talking about the kingdom of heaven, which is rulership on the Israelites.
For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our power day and night.
It's talking about Esau Edom. The accuser of our brother, and the brother of the Israelites is Esau.
And he wants to make us out. Like, if you really look at what he's doing with these little sellout demons, promoting all these wicked lifestyles, he's trying to make us the face of wickedness, man. That's according to what this elder was saying. You know, he's trying to make us the face of wickedness, man. So that's a form of accusing our brethren, because Israel, man, look, for example, Lil Nas X, with that new record he came out, there was Jakes reacting to it. They was playing the video and they was standing like 6 feet away because they don't resonate with that, man. All right, but with Esau having sellouts, you know, promote these wicked lifestyles, all right, that's a form of accusing the brethren, man. And this Jake in the world we're talking about, man. You know, he making our people to be the wicked and that he should have a chance of redemption, but that's just pride deceiving them. All right, and it reads, and they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb.
And so the elect is going to overcome Esau and his power structure by our Lord Yahweh Shai being the Prince and his Savior, for to give repentance unto Israel, forgiveness of sins. You know, laying his life down for the sheep, and shedding that blood, being that sacrificial lamb for the house of Israel. Right, most important. Atonement, right?
And by the word of their testimony.
And by the word of their testimony, which is the spirit of prophecy. Brother brought it out earlier in Revelation 19 and 10. So Yahweh Shai coming on the earth, doing his lot, and preaching his truth. That's how we overcome this devil, man. Not mounting up with weapons and guns and ammunitions and hoarding up food and gas. It's not how you overcome this man. This man is the most carnal individual that was on the face of the earth, the most subtle beast of the field. You can't overcome him with carnal shit. You got to overcome him with the spirit of Yahweh Shai. And the scripture's telling us.
But a lot of our people are seduced by his ways.
Yeah.
Say in Proverbs 12:26, the righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the ways of the wicked seduce of them. But they don't know how to act. Our people have been separated from their heritage too long. Fortunately, the Most High brought us back to remembrance.
Right. Right.
And they love not their lives unto death.
Yeah, we done love this rulership, this lifestyle. Because here it is, we earn wages to put in a bag with holes in it. We're subject to payments. Our wives are as harlots. The children is wicked. The music is corrupt, is full of corruption. We labor and have no rest. Our water, our wood is sold unto us. And he that parted from evil maketh himself a prey here. So we don't love this lifestyle. We laboring on concrete. Brothers got ailments, back problems. Some brothers got to go to work right after camp.
Yeah.
Went to work before camp, ain't got to go to work after camp. Man.
Still barely, getting by. You know what I'm saying? Still barely getting by. Like that's the thing. Like Jacob has to understand we're in our captivity. We're still in our captivity. We're still in our oppression.
Man.
Why would you not want to be here? Why would you not want to not be here? All right, if that makes sense. Why would you desire to be here in Babylon, where our enemies reign over us? All right, it's a known fact that the upper echelons of this society is nothing but a bunch of wicked satanic witches and warlocks doing odious works of witchcraft. Sacrificing children, things of that nature. And you got our people that's complacent with that, man. Successful people out there doing a whole bunch of abominations. Hey, man, our people just, going along to get along, man. Playing that go along to get along game. But guess what? That's going to have to be destroyed, man. With a sword destruction. You got it.
It's Jeremiah 2:14. Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled?
And that's ultimately what it is too, man. A lot of our people, they think, they've been enslaved so much in so many generations, especially in this last, in this last captivity, all right, which is, here in Babylon, that they done been trained mentally to be slaves. You see, that's the thing too, them Willie Lynch letters, all right, and it's a whole lot of tactics that these devils have used to make the chains go from being physical to being mental, all right? And our people are happy being in this low estate, in this low predicament, man. You know what I'm saying? They happy as long as they get a few, good little things. They happy being in slavery, man. They happy being here in Babylon. All right, and that's just what it is. But as read that again, Baba Kishon.
Jeremiah 2:14. Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave?
God, man. So in other words, he's asking the Lord, like, no, man, is it our lot to be, serving these nations? It's similar, and you could draw parallels with how the prophet Esdras in the book of 2nd Esdras chapter 6, we bring it out.
It says, why is he spoiled?
All right, the book of 2nd Esdras chapter 6, jumping all the way down, all right, to the book of, Slaki, not the book, 2nd Esdras chapter 6, verse 58. As a matter of fact, verse 57. And the reason now, O Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, behold these heathen, which have ever been reputed as nothing, have begun to be lords over us, which means we're in their possession. All right, and to devour us. But we thy people, whom thou hast called thy firstborn, all right, because we're, according to Deuteronomy chapter 7 and 6, we're chosen unto Yahweh Bashim Yahushai to be above all nations, right? And thy only begotten and thy fervent lover are given into their hands, meaning we're under their possession. If the world now be made for our sakes, why do we not possess an inheritance with the world? How long shall this last? You see? How long shall this last? All right? And guess what? It's not going to last any more longer. You just got to be patient for it, man. All right? We just got to be patient for it because righteousness will be established upon the earth, man. All right? All form of wickedness is going to be cut off. Okay? And that's just what it is, man. All right? That's what we out here in the highways and hedges, man. We prophesying the downfall of Esau's kingdom. Okay? And enduring unto the end, that we may be saved. All right? Because real soon, all this is going to be over, man. Okay? Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is going to bring forth, as we read, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is going to bring forth his salvation. All right? You got it.
Yeah, I got a precept concerning because Ezra, he was basically saying that, he was seeing, evildoers, wicked people prosper, I got a precept going on. This is 2nd Ezra, chapter 3, and verse 29. It says, "For when I came thither and had seen impieties without number," which impieties means ungodliness, a sin, It says, "Then my soul saw many evildoers in the 30th year, so that my heart failed me. For I have seen how thou sufferest them sinning," meaning suffer meaning permitted. So Ezra seen all these wicked evildoers prosper, and that the Lord was allowing them to prosper. It says, "And has spared wicked doers, and has destroyed thy people." So Ezra's saying, Lord, why are you sparing these wicked ass heathens, but you destroying thy people? It says, "And has preserved thy enemies, and has not signified it." So this is Ezra's basically, sign and crying to Yahweh Shemosai that the wicked evildoers, they prosper, and he didn't kill them yet, sparing them. But when we go off, you judge us quickly, But this is all the will of Yahweh Shemosai. Oh yeah, you got it.
And I was gonna say too, and that's the same, that's the same predicament that we're in. All right, when we are at the bottom, we're being judged for our sins, our trespasses. All right, and here you have the wicked elites, the richest in the world. You have these upper echelon Edomites. They're doing good. Their families are well off. They got property. Right? They own property. They have servants because they have corporations and things of that nature. You have 2/3 of our people that join their hands unto them, all right, and set themselves against Yahweh Shem Shai. In doing so, all right, they're doing good too. All right, they're living. If you look at their rap songs, man, they think they're in the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? These 2/3, man. So hey, what the brother just read back then is also happening here now. All right, but it all applies. Now you want me to? How urgent was that preaching? I'll bring it out right now.
Yeah, Ecclesiastes 8, verse 11.
Right there.
I'm glad you.
Verse 13.
I got it. All right, so the book of Ecclesiastes.
And this is
right?
Nah.
Oh, sorry.
And this is the answer to what Ezra was signed and crying for, man. Now this is the reason why the Lord is doing it. It's sparing the wicked evildoers, because he would ultimately reserve them until the day of judgment.
And it reads, "But it shall not be well."
Ecclesiastes 8, 11.
Okay, all right, so book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 8, verse 11. And it reads, "Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily."
Yeah, right. And that evil work is sinning. So Esau is a man of sin. He promotes homosexuality, you to be a transformer, you to accept the Me Too movement, the feminists, and the rest of all these ungodly counsels, man. So keep going.
All right, and it reads, "Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily."
Right, so they don't get judged right away after they doing these sins, committing these sins. Keep going.
All right. "Therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil."
Right, because they're proud. Esau hasn't got a great judgment yet, so he's very proud. That's why he's committing all these transgressions, because he's a man of sin and he doesn't think he's going to get paid back for it. Keep going.
Yeah, that's why Jeff Bezos thinks that he can fly, that he's good to fly a rocket shaped like a you-know-what to go up the clouds, man. Into the heavens. And it reads, "Therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. Though a sinner do evil 100 times and his days be prolonged."
See, though a sinner doing evil 100 times and his days be prolonged, he's not getting judged for it. It's like, damn, these elites, they live forever. It's like they ain't gonna never get judged. Keep going.
"Yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear Yahweh Shem Shai, which fear before him."
Which who are those? The ones that fear Yahweh Shem Shai. That's the elect. Because it says pride is the beginning of sin. Pride is when one departed when his heart is turned from his maker, and he's departed from the Most High. Roughly paraphrase. That's what pride means. You know. Keep going.
All right, and it reads, which fear before him, but it shall not be well with the wicked.
See, but it shall not be well with the wicked, because they don't get that recompense, man, which ultimately is going to be the lake of fire. You know. See. And that's the spirit, man. The spirit was bringing it up. You know.
Yeah, hey, and they be prospering too, man.
Yep.
Alphabet, hey, they be prospering, man.
And the scripture says it's the godly in this world that prosper.
Prosper. Yeah.
All right, and it reads, but it shall not be well with the wicked, neither shall he prolong his days, which are as a shadow, because he feareth not before Yahweh Shem Yahushua.
Yeah, because he feared not before Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And what's going to be the latter end of that? Destruction. You go real quick, hold that. Go to Isaiah 128. See, it may seem like us in this truth, preaching the gospel, following with the apostle of the great minister, it may seem like we're losing, but really we're winning, man. You know?
That's Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5 right there. All right, so Isaiah chapter 1 and 28, and the destruction of the transgressors and of the sinners shall be together. And they that forsake Yahweh Shem Yahushai shall be consumed.
Right. So they that forsake Yahweh Shem Yahushai shall be consumed by what? The nuclear fire. You know? It's a plague. You know? And let's get back to proof that Zechariah 14:2 real quick. Let's go. Because what are they going to be consumed with?
That's it on this one?
Yeah, that's it. Zechariah 14:2.
Zechariah chapter 14, verse 12. Let's get it. All right, so book of Zechariah chapter 14, verse 12. And this shall be the plague wherewith Yahweh Shem Yahushua shall smite all the people that fought against Jerusalem.
Hey, so Lord will kill all our adversaries, man. That came up against us. You know?
And we get the second death right here, man. The ultimate reward.
Okay.
So like, all right, it reads, their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth.
Right, so that's being consumed right there by the fire. You know, which you just watch that movie Terminator 2. As brothers always say, starting with the apostles, that Sarah Connor, she was greatly consumed by that nuclear fire, which was that nuclear wind. You know, that destruction, man. Okay, you know,
And
Gatorade water.
I take care of it, and that's gonna be and that's gonna be where do they get that inspiration from that precept, man. You know, did the camera stop by?
And also too, you know, you look at that movie. You remember Indiana Jones?
Yeah.
There's a scene in Indiana Jones, and Lord willing, I do a sit down on it. There's a scene in, I think it's the most recent Indiana Jones. All right, it's the one with the crystal skull. They go to Peru. There's a scene where he's in a testing site out there in Arizona. You know where they got them atomic bomb testing sites that they used during the 40s or so. There was a scene where when the bomb dropped, the mannequins, it was a brightness, and the mannequins, they didn't melt, man. They didn't just evaporate on the spot like people say. Oh well, if the bomb hits, you know, we're just gonna evaporate on the spot. No, them mannequins, you saw they were melting, man. Them mannequins were melting. So if that's what it does to, you know, material, you know, plastic, things of that nature, all right, which probably has a high heat resistance compared to our flesh. Imagine what the flesh is. Imagine how it's gonna do to these to the wicked, man. Imagine what it's gonna do to the flesh. How it's just gonna burn away, and you'll see layers upon layers of skin being burnt away, man. You know?
Yeah, so you said that go to Hebrews 10 and 31, because it says the Lord is a consuming fire. You know? And fire is a great cleansing agent, man. You know?
Hebrews 10 and 31.
Hey, so this place gonna be like starting up the war, man. Lord willing, get those preachers, you know?
Let me just make sure my Bible don't fall apart.
Like in Malachi, it's gonna be like an altar.
Yeah.
Going to what you said, it's gonna be like you're gonna have to cook here for a few minutes.
Hey, and guess what too, man? Hey, the Lord may have the angels in the midst of that, which is angels is the ministers of fire. all right, amping up the flames and making sure everybody feel that burn, get that even burn.
Slowing down time.
If I knew how to barbecue, I'd come up with a cool little parable for you, when it comes to even out the burn, even out the cooking. But hey, it'll come a good time. Book of Hebrews chapter 10, verse 31. It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. That's the spirit. All right. But God to remembrance the former days in which ye were illuminated, ye endured a great fight of afflictions. You got it.
Yeah, so soccer, that was the piece I wanted, but that's good, but yeah, read that again, nice.
God. All right, so Hebrews chapter 10 and 31. It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power.
Yeah, so it's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of Yahweh Shimon Shai, man, because he can lead you up to that lake of fire, man. And now you don't want that, man, because if the oven is hot when you cooking something, that'd be like 500 degrees. And that's hot as hell. So imagine this highly concentrated fire full of missiles, man. It's gonna be out of this world hot, man. It's gonna be hotter than the volcano.
All right, and it reads, all right, but call to remembrance the former days, in which after you were illuminated, meaning we were given this knowledge, ye endured a great fight of afflictions.
Yeah, great fight of afflictions, because the scripture says, when I come to serve the Lord, prepare thyself for temptation. And that temptation is coming, that our temptation, which is an MOTB, according to Revelation 13:16, when we all shall be tried. And even right now, with the max, which is, the max is not the chip, there's a prelude to the chip. But this will be a test too, So all of us bros very soon will have to really abandon all that we have, man. Really gonna have to detach from the society. It's like how our forefathers in ancient Egypt, they was in the wilderness for 40 years, detaching from Egypt. That's why the Lord had them in there for 40 years. To see whether our people will keep the laws and commandments or not. It was a test. And the Lord gonna test his elect again.
Yeah, like the scripture says, man, many are called, but few are chosen. I bring it up, but I'm not too sure where it's at.
So
Matthew 24, verse 6. Many are called, few are chosen.
It's like sifting, like the sifting of the wheat.
Matthew 24, verse many. You know what I preached about when it says many are called, few are chosen? I always go to that precept too.
And that's just what it is too. We're not gonna remember like every single precept that's in the scripture. Can't be in the flesh, man.
Yeah, I got it right here. Matthew 22 and 14.
Alright, so book of Matthews.
Now I keep on the counting board. Like I said, sometimes you'll forget the precept,
Alright. And it reads, the book of Matthew, chapter 22, verse 14, for many are called, but few are chosen.
Right.
Alright,
So,
literally straight to the point.
So like you said, many are called, but few are chosen. So no one we part of those men, that we chosen, man. That we would join heirs with Yahweh Shai, going back all into the beginning of time when Yahweh Shai and the angels, which were the elect, creating the whole earth, man. Cause that's a great word to have, to be joint heirs with Yahweh Shai. There ain't no like thing, man. You gonna get whatever Yahweh Shai gets, man, in righteousness. Let's get that Romans 8:17 real quick.
I got it.
Water, I appreciate that.
So let's get it. Romans 8:17, you said? The book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 17. And if children, then heirs of Yahweh, and joint heirs with Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, if so be that we suffer with them, that we may glorify together.
See, that's the process. We gotta suffer first before the Lord willing we get that reward. Because you ain't the Lord ain't just gonna give you the kingdom. Now you gotta go through suffering, man. This is Jacob's trouble. Getting defamed, getting demonized by Esau, being looked at as crazy, bugged out by our family and friends that we once hung out with. You know? So as Yahweh says, count the cost. You know?
All those degrees of difficulty add to the term straight,
Right.
which is the path we got to take.
Yep. And we can get that let's get that straight gate, Matthew 7 chapter. Matthew 7. Which Yahweh he was quoted from Ezra.
That's the spirit. I was thinking about it.
Matthew 7 and
Yeah, beginning of sorrows.
The straight gate.
not straight gate.
Okay.
Matthew 7 and verse 13.
The book of Matthew, chapter 7, verse 13. And it reads, enter ye in at the straight gate.
Right, now this word straight, S-T-R-A-I-T, that means a position of difficulty. You know? Keep going. The Lord said, enter ye in at the straight gate. This is a way. You know, keep going.
For wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction.
Yep. And what is that way? That's a Christian doctrine, being a buzzing, you know, being a Kemet, you know, even false doctrine amongst Israel.
Free spirit.
Free spirit, you know, atheists, you know. That's
That
gonna
shit
lead-
accepts a lot of people.
Right. Yep.
This is the only truth that is restricted.
Right.
You gotta be a man.
And because everybody don't pass the initiation phase. Because the scriptures say that wisdom shall try you. And everybody don't pass that test, man. You know? Only the elect.
That
pass
first
the
test be your family or your girl.
Yeah. Yep.
Plus, you're condemned by your ways that you learned from Babylon.
Right.
You don't want to leave them alone.
Yeah.
Join the truth.
Yep. Man love darkness rather than light.
Uh.
You know? She got it.
Always
Right.
condemned.
And broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go thereat.
Yep.
Right? And hey, that's talking about the popular opinion. Because hey, this truth is not the popular opinion, man.
It's contrary to popular opinion.
Real soon we're gonna be labeled as terrorists.
Yeah, because this truth is now of this world. You speak about the chariots, the so-called UFO. You're talking about all according to biblical prophecy. You're talking about destruction to this place, America. Esau, Edom, and heathen, they went into captivity. You know, your woman gonna be as ravished. You know, Jacob's trouble. That's not out of this world, but it's all the will of Yahweh Shemashah because it's prophecy. You know.
God, and with everything, like the brother said, with all the prophecy manifesting itself, all right, it's no surprise that there's gonna be a great persecution with it, man. Because these nations ain't gonna want to lose their position of power. All right, these nations, the East, especially Esau, Edom, you don't want to go into slavery. All right, what's that scripture in the Psalms? Let me see if I can grab it real quick.
Can I use your phone?
Yeah.
Book of Psalms. What chapter? Hold on, real quick. 47. Man. No, 44 or 7. Dang, it's somewhere in the book of Psalms. But basically, you know, it says that their inward thoughts is that their houses.
Oh, it sounds pretty nice.
49.
11.
49 on the okay, Alright. Book of Psalms chapter 49, verse 11, it reads, the inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever.
And that's the so-called white man. He thinks that he's going to rule forever. But he has an expiration date to his kingdom. You know, just like every other heathen nation had. You know?
Alright, and it reads, and their dwelling places to all generations, they call their lands after their own names.
Right, hence.
Which is the clear indicator of who the scripture is referring to, man. Alright, America, named after Amerigo Vespucci. Africa, named after Leo Scipios Africanus. All these are Edomite names. Alright? So, hey, these devils, they want to continue on forever. So back to, you know, the original point that was made, it's no surprise that this thing is going to come with a great persecution. Because we coming with a force, and obviously they're going to have to react some type of way. And they don't react good, but guess what? The reaction to their reaction is going to be even greater. Alright? So back to, you said Matthew chapter 6?
7
13. 14.
God.
So back to book of Matthew chapter 7, verse 14. Because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it.
And the few are the elect. And it says narrow and straight, because you got to work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. Something that's narrow, you barely getting through it. And the scriptures say that the righteous shall scarcely be saved. You know? So only few gonna find it. Only which are the elect. You know? It's only a few men on earth that's willing to lay down their life for Yahweh Bashim on shot, man. You know, and resisting the ways of this wicked ass society, man. The image of the beast. You know? And what Moses said, the spirit upon Yahweh Bashim on shot. This is set before you, life or death. Choose life. And a lot of people gonna choose death by looking to save their lives by taking that vaccine and that chip, man.
And we see it because these people that got the juice in them, they saying they're the reason why the unmedicated is getting.
Alright. Verse 15, you want to continue on verse 15?
And people just want to go back and do their folly. That's all they want to do. Go to the gym, go to women committing adultery in them clubs, you know, in them bars and taverns, you know, doing all that shit, man. They ain't trying to seek Yahweh Bashim on side. That's why the Lord said they shall seek. When affliction comes, they shall seek me early. The Lord ain't gonna hear you, man. You know.
Yeah, and them Latin women be deep in them clubs too, man. You gotta be careful when you deal with a Latin chick, man. She might have a little Rico, little Juanito at home.
Yeah.
You know, fucking tired as hell because he don't work all day. All right, he tired as hell. He fucking knocked out in bed, and here you are popping his wife going at the club, man. She can lie to you and tell you she's single too. You get that phone number, and she'll never hit you up again. Guess what? Guess because she has somebody else, man.
A lot of them Northern Kingdom women, they be adulterers, man.
Super adulterous, man.
And when that was the spirit of the Northern Kingdom men, they were adulterers. Worshiping other gods. There was not one righteous king of the Northern Kingdom. I mean, you had Jehu, he was righteous for a minute.
That's true.
But he ended up turning aside from the ways of Yahweh Shimon Shai. And started worshiping them idols that he killed all them people that, you know.
He started worshiping the same idols he was putting people to death for worship.
Exactly, right. And that's a hypocrite, you know.
And even with, what was it, Jeroboam? You know, because Jeroboam thought that the people were gonna, you know, rebel against him. You know, I actually put the scriptures that I actually like stand up and just sit there like, this dude really like
behold,
like,
here
it is, man. Like, here it is. Okay, there's a split that happened. All right, the split happened, but why can't you just worship the Lord in the split? Nah, he went and built up altars, built up idols, and that Israel bowed down before them.
And they called him from Egypt.
Man.
When Solomon died.
Hey, man. Let's continue on that. You know, chapter 4, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to get into it. All right, so it reads, verse 15, beware of false prophets which come to you in sheep's clothing.
And that's happening now. Sheep clothing meaning they appease you that they got the right doctrine, the way true of life to salvation, you know. But that's not the way. And we see that with these camps. You know, there ain't no chariots, you know. The MOTB is not the chip, you know. Take the Maxine, ISUK.
And don't rebuke each other when they go on.
And these other camps going graffiti and shit, man.
Yeah.
Well, that's how you know they never put up the old man.
Yeah. Well, we got to use the right terminology, bro. They hitting up trains now, man. You know, they hitting up trains, you know, because that's the thing, you know, brothers rebuke them, you know, Sicarno about this graffiti thing, but they came in from like a graffiti culture aspect. But if you look at the conversation that them members of Sicarno were having while they would say, you know, tagging up the train, hitting up the train, they were saying some gang shit. You know, joking about some gang shit. Oh, you know, that represents scrap. You know what I'm saying? And this, and that. Yeah,
they ain't put off the old man yet.
Yeah, they trying to creep the old man into the truth, man. You had Knuckle Dragon, little Issacharach in the background talking about the South Side and Sur, which that's you know, that's basically an abbreviation for.
Get some red and green so we can put up the Mexico.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, they were talking about the Sur, which is an abbreviation for the term, you know, the street gang Sureño, which that's, you know what I'm saying? They got time to, hey, man, that's what they trying to creep into the truth, man. You know? Hey, scripture says, Job chapter 14, verse 4, you can't mix that which is, you know, holy, you know, the good with the bad. You You know, so this is what we're dealing with, man. Ravening wolves. We're surrounded on all sides. We need a deliverance. Right? It reads verse 16. You shall know
Israelite.
them by their fruits.
Israelites.
Eso no se debe comer.
Hablo español. ¿Sabes? ¿De qué país vienes? ¿De México? Listo. Tú sabes que tú eres un israelita de la tribu de Íscar. ¿Vienes de los aztecas? Aztecas. ¿Sabes que los morenos, los latinos, nativos americanos, nosotros somos los hebreos israelitas que dicen la Biblia en las escrituras? El hombre blanco, esos que están allá, no son los hebreos israelitas. Ellos robaron de nosotros. ¿En qué crees tú, en Jesús? ¿Sabes que la cosa es que, ¿sabes que Jesús crees en esa imagen? No. Bueno, porque es... ¿Ah?
Él está vivo. Él está entre nosotros.
Sí, pero sí, tú dices eso, pero lo que yo estoy diciendo es que esa imagen que nos dan, eso no es la verdadera representación de Jesucristo, que su verdadero nombre en el hebreo es Yahawashi. Yahawashi. De acuerdo a la Biblia,
Sus
right,
hermanos.
que también queremos, no sé, hubiéramos agarrado una parte de español, pero de acuerdo a la Biblia, en el libro de Apocalipsis, capítulo 1, versículo 9 hacia abajo, describe al Señor como siendo moreno. Así lo describe. Ahora, eso no es la imagen, nosotros no idolatramos esa imagen, pero esa imagen es como decir una descripción de cómo lo describe la Biblia. ¿Me entiendes? Así lo describe al llamado Jesucristo la Biblia, como un moreno bien prieto, bien oscuro, teniendo pelo, o sea, como blanco, ¿okay? Porque él viene de la tribu de Judá, y la tribu de Judá son los morenos aquí en América que fueron traídos como esclavos. Ellos no son los mismos de los llamados africanos allá en la tierra de África, son los hebreos israelitas. ¿Okay? Y nosotros, la tribu norteña, o sea, nosotros los latinos, vinimos de las tribus del norte. ¿Okay?
Y por eso mismo somos los mejores del mundo. Si tú miras el noticiero y todo eso, los mexicanos son los mejores boxeadores, ¿verdad? Y los negros están bailando y son los mejores de esto y lo otro. Nosotros hacemos lo mejor de todo el mundo. Si tú quieres comprar un campeón, tienes que irte allá abajo para el guero, ¿sabes? Tienes que irte allá para los barrios ahí donde están todos los mexicanos pobres. Ahí es donde encuentran los campeones y los mejores de todo el mundo. Y son los hijos de Dios. Eso tú lo sabes, ¿verdad? ¿Y qué otra explicación va a ser? Si dice la Biblia que el Señor nos cogió para ser mejor que todo el mundo, encima de toda la gente del mundo. En Deuteronomy 7 y 6. ¿Tú sabes?
Es del anticristo.
Sí, verdad, porque mira, hay mucha mentira para nosotros quedamos abajo. Por eso si nosotros nos levantamos, tú sabes, ellos no pueden hacer todas estas maldades que están haciendo, tú sabes, porque nosotros no tenemos poder.
Por eso dice la palabra de Dios. Muchos son los engañadores, a pesar de que ya son cristianos, escogidos de muchos engañadores. Y ya está.
Y el Señor dice que los últimos van a ser los primeros. ¿Verdad? Mira, los negros y los latinos aquí en este mundo son los últimos.
No importa el color, lo importante es tener confianza y contacto.
Y también, tú sabes, la Biblia es de la sangre. Desde los días de Adam, era de la sangre de Adam, tú sabes. Hasta la sangre de Abraham, y de la sangre de Isaac, y de la sangre de Jacob. ¿Sabes? Es la sangre de ellos. Esa es la sangre que él quiere. It prefers that blood. La sangre tiene contacto con el Señor. Él lo escogió esa sangre.
Por eso derramó su sangre por nosotros.
Sí, por eso no es de nada, no es con el corazón. Tenemos que estar escogidos del Señor.
Escogido y estar siempre delante.
Y mira, y no lo puede ser si Él no te escogió para hacer eso.
goes back to
Así como en la Biblia, dice que yo no, tú no me, tú no, you didn't pick me, I picked you. Tú no me cogiste a mí, yo fui lo que cogí ustedes. Eso es lo que dice el Hijo de Dios.
That's what it is,
Es
man.
lo que llaman Jesucristo, pero él no se llama Jesucristo, se llama Yahweh, era hebreo, tenía un nombre hebreo, ¿tú sabes?
They're the only one
Oye, mío, cuídate,
on
que Dios te
this
bendiga.
side of the land, on that side of the country. They're all heathens.
Hey, let's bring it out, bro. Bring it out.
Yeah,
Let's bring it out. Look at Deuteronomy chapter 7 and 6.
Deuteronomy 7 and 6.
Can't teach an old dog new tricks, man.
Yeah, they
I already tell you he was offended, just how he came up.
Yeah.
This is Deuteronomy 7
What do you
and
say
6.
about the RFID chip in the market?
Oh, he's with us on that, you know. But he don't want. He wants it. He another John 3:16, man.
that's what I'm trying to say too. I said, no, it ain't about what you got in your heart. It got to be put there by the Most High. He chose the blood man.
Hey, man, like you said, the whole Bible, man.
Yeah. He act like he knew everything already.
And I know all these precepts already. Well, why aren't you presenting your bodies a living sacrifice? It's acceptable in the eyes of
Come
the
on out
Most High.
here,
You know,
bro.
he under that. He under that. Antiochus. Is it Antiochus Epiphanes? Yeah, that make everybody to be one people.
Yeah.
Yo,
Most
that
High ain't
thought.
never been with no shit like that.
Deuteronomy 7 and 6. But thou art the holy people unto Yahweh thy power. Yahweh thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Nah, so let's break that down. But thou art an holy people. Who's thou? The children of Israel, so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, and the Israelite foreigners scattered from the four corners of the earth. And these other nations take pride in and cling onto, like Bruce Lee. You know, you got Wade Rooney, and he a soccer player in England, man. He look like a so-called white man, but he like the star player up there, man. You know, you got Messi, Lionel Messi. He looks like a so-called white. He could pass for a so-called white man. But hey, the way he played that soccer, man, hey, that's talent. You know.
Bro, we gotta figure this shit out with these phones, bro.
Yeah, bro, they trying to lock down.
I think Esau putting like something in there.
Yeah. And if it wasn't, if Deuteronomy 7 and 6 wasn't true, they wouldn't have to come back to Psalms 83 and conspire against our people and try to cut us off and be a nation. That's proof. They prove each other. those scriptures prove each other.
But he was an old bottle, man.
They not getting that.
It's just that saying goes, you can't teach a no dog new
You know what
tricks.
it is? Oh, these little young niggas.
Yeah.
Oh, they don't know nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can tell you had that spirit.
Yeah, definitely that.
You
But
don't
also,
know.
also got them angels ascending and descending.
Right.
Up and down his mind.
Yeah, you
Nah.
saw him coming a mile away.
And that's why
Descended
Apostle,
on him.
and that's why Apostle Paul said, Timothy, let no man despise our youth. Because Timothy was a young man teaching older men. You know?
Hey, bro, it is what it is, man. Like we could you read the precept again, Brother Bashar? Yeah, breaking it down for edification's sake.
Deuteronomy
Back to the
7,
basics, you know.
7 and 6. Thou art the holy people to Yahweh thy power. Yahweh thy power hath chosen thee
Yahweh Shemel Shah has chosen us
to be a special people unto himself.
to be a special people unto himself. Hey, you know, you got the term special treatment. You know, that's where he came contrary though, man. Coming through with that rebellion against Yahweh Shemel Shah.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth, man.
And just like you're in a plane, right? You got the first class. You get the first part of everything, but everybody else got to behind you. So that's the same thing with the Lord, man. The Lord separated us from the heathen nations.
That's right. And he's the manifestation of what we read about in when you brought out the precept, is Jacob a servant, is he a homeborn slave?
Right.
He ain't doing good. He old as hell walking down the street. He's not doing good, man.
He
gotta-
got
you gotta-
his house. He got these angels over here. These angels over here. Caesar Borgia, African's little shit.
You got the great supper.
Yeah.
with,
the little lamb.
What's the
Hey,
name?
don't
That
forget,
woman in there.
Yeah, Mary and the virgin.
Yeah, man. He walking through over here. He's elderly and he's walking. That shows you he's not doing good, man. He's still a servant. You know? He's still a servant. He probably got a little one of them little jobs. If not, he's pushing a cart selling corn. You know, because that's all. Hey, man, that's what our people have been reduced to. And he still, and he wants to lump everybody in together and receive the salvation, man.
Here it is. Nobody don't love us, but you gotta love every goddamn body. We just talking about that.
Everybody has, you know, everybody has. Jake, there's a rapper. You gotta talk about everybody has, you know, N-words.
Right.
You know,
Like when Jake last one, he go, who get a shot down the street? Shit, everybody.
Man, everybody gets out on the streets, man. Jake with the super inclusion.
God, yeah, just come everybody, you know, no, man, the Lord ain't with that, man. All right, that's that Antiochus Epiphanes spirit, man. You know that, hey, after, and he did that. He came out and said that after he jacked our people up, man. All right, matter of fact, let's bring it out. God, let me see. Is this? I think this is chapter 1. Hold on, let me see. First Maccabees chapter 2. 140. Yeah, 140. Yeah, there we go. All right, so let me see.
What's up with shit?
Yeah.
Let's get the.
Hey.
Yeah, you think he took a jab and he just feel convicted?
Because he told us he gonna come out here. Like he was real passionate. Or he probably in the hospital.
All right, so yeah, let me get like the account so we can have the foundation, you know, because our people, they don't understand. We in the same predicament. All right, we in the same predicament. It wasn't long ago when they was shoving spears in the so-called Hispanics, the so-called Latinos rolling up. Let's get on these Latinos. It wasn't that long ago when they were sticking their fucking spears up y'all women vaginas, man. So-called Latinas, the little Aztecas, the Boricuas, they was taking your babies, ripping them out your womb and stomping on them to save bullets. And y'all want to prance around like y'all didn't get touched, like that, like nothing happened. You know, you feel like you the so-called white man. You think you better than Judah. You know what I'm saying? Some of them, you know, think they better than Judah.
Bring this out.
Come on, let's do it, man. All right, so it reads. All right, book of First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse. Let me see.
And this was during the time of the Hellenization of our people, the southern kingdom, Judah, Benjamin, Levi. Because the northern kingdom, the so-called Latin tribes, and the American tribes, they were already over here due to the Assyrian captivity. But you did have some northern kingdom tribes that were mingled amongst the southern kingdom. But as a whole, this is talking about the southern kingdom. You know?
All right, so it reads the book of First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 20. And after that, Antiochus had smitten Egypt because he was at war with Ptolemy. All right, he returned again in 143rd year and went up against the year. And went up against Jerusalem, and Israel and Jerusalem with the great multitude, and entered proudly into the sanctuary and took away the golden altar and the candlesticks of light and all the vessels thereof. So they were desecrating the temples, man. All right, and verse 22.
You probably got to put the last 2 videos up.
And verse 22, and the table of the showbread, and the pouring vessels, and the vials of the censers, all right, and the veil of crowns and the gold ornaments that were before the temple, all which he pulled off. You see, so hey, he was looting Israel, man. The sacred things that pertain to our history. Verse 23, he took also the silver and the gold and the precious vessels, and also he took the hidden treasures which he found. All right, and this is the key point right here. And when he had taken all away, he went into his own land, having made a great massacre, and spoken very proudly.
Yep.
You see?
And that's the spirit of Edomites. They speak proudly when they conquer somebody. You know?
Yeah.
Through my own hand, I've gotten this.
Home of the free. You know? That's just what it is, man. And this is the predicament that we're in, you know, just getting on the massacre of the so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, man. You know, all the blood that's been shed on this country. All right, we're in the same predicament. We're in the same, you know, in the same lot, so to speak.
Subject to payments.
Subject to payments, all right, in our captivity. All right, but let's jump down to verse 41. All right, and it reads, moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people. So after he did these things, he went back, he spoke proudly how he took over the children of Israel, slaughtered them, and then he came out and said, oh, we're all one nation, we're all one people. And that's the same spirit that they came with, man. You know, that's the same spirit that really a lot of Jakes come with. You know, want to include everybody, want everybody to be the same. We're all children of God. You know,
that's that serpent's poison just fully injected into them.
you know, when really the children of God are the Hebrew Israelites, man. That's what Israel means, a child of God. You know, but you want to take that and make everybody Israel, man. All right, that's it on that, man.
They're trying to cast that which is holy into the dogs.
There you go.
You keep going on that. You want to read it for you? This is First Maccabees 1:42. And everyone should leave his laws, so all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king.
See, I mean, that's so you make the law illegal, man. All right, read that again, Bible should say.
And everyone should leave his laws, so all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king.
So this is talking about that back then, that Hellenistic philosophy, that Hellenistic influence, which is back today in the reincarnation with other, you know, abominable influences as that westernized, you know, lifestyle, man.
Yeah, because back then our people that were in togas,
Right.
the Greek fashion was togas, bald heads, no beard, you know, you not being circumcised as a male,
Right.
you know.
Sodomy, gymnasium.
Yeah, gymnasium, which is gymnos, which means naked. You know, because back then they actually participated in sports naked in events. You know, that's why hence they got where you see women with leggings on in the gym. That's no different than being naked, because down there you can see her whole body.
And that's why the scriptures refer to that as that which is unseemly. You know what I'm saying? That's unseemly, man. Like, what's you're like, okay, we watching sports. You feel me? Hey, it's cool. You know, you got a team, you got another team. You know, like soccer's cool. You feel me? But back then, they used to see dudes naked. Like, what the hell? That's unseemly. Imagine you see two teams playing soccer naked. That's unseemly, man. All right, you got it.
It says, yeah, many also of the Israelites consisted to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath.
And you see, basically he was promoting wickedness, man. And that's what Esau Edom is doing right now with this westernized way of living. All right, read that again, Baba Shah.
It says, yeah, many also of the Israelites consisted to his religion.
And that's, you know, you have that example of that come up right here. And as we observe all around us, the abominations that be done in the midst of, right, by our people around us, man, that have consented unto this westernized way of living, who back then consented unto that Hellenistic way of living. Nothing is new under the sun. We're in the same predicament, waiting to be delivered. All right, you got it.
Because now Jake want to be like the Esau, the so-called white man, want to talk like him. You know, he don't want to have a beard.
Right.
You know, they judge us after an Edomite standard way of living. You know, it says, and sacrificing to idols and profane the Sabbath.
See, sacrifice unto idols. Yeah, you got all manner of idols. Look, man, there's no Yahweh Shai in any of these things that Esau's promoting, man. He's promoting Caesar Borgia, he's promoting the Queen of Heaven. All right, he's promoting the streets. He's promoting the thought culture, black culture, Latino culture. You don't see Yahweh Shai in these things, man. All right, except here in this sanctuary.
Verse 44, for the king has sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah that they should follow the strange laws of the land.
See? Hey, he was enforcing, he was coming in with that. And that's the spirit too, because, you know, some brothers are making drawing the parallels between, you know, Mumbling Joe and Antiochus Epiphanes, man. Some brothers are drawing that's what they're doing right now. It's nothing's new under the sun, man. That's what they are doing right now. All right? He's sending his messengers out. With that broadcasting, you know, with that broadcasting, he's basically telling everybody that they should be, you know, that they should sleep with Vanessa, man. You know, he is signing bills and signing laws into effect to where you won't be able to have a job if you don't sleep with Vanessa. You know, which we got to speak in the code, brothers. You know, what we were really referring to. You know what I'm saying? But that's what they're doing, man.
Yeah, because now they have Disney and Walmart now is now requiring all their employees to take the Vanessa. You know,
you got federal jobs too.
federal job.
You know, hey, I did the lesson on it, man. Vanessa fever, man. Hey, you had even people in the low levels, man. Like for example, my pops, you know, he had he brought his peoples over. You know, they started, you know, drinking. I guess they were watching a game or something, and then this demon hopped on them that they were really trying to convince him and me and basically that everybody in our household should go ahead and sleep with Vanessa. But they were really trying to do it. Like they were really like, you gotta do this. It's life and death. You know, it's ultimately the spirit of fear, man. You know, it's ultimately that's really what it all rooted in, man. All right, and that's where, you know, you got the precept, you know, which is our comforter. Let not the incredulity of them trouble you. You know, roughly paraphrasing, because incredulity goes into the lack of belief, their unwillingness to believe. All right, and that's the fruit of Christianity. They're folding up. It's like, man, I was rambling.
It says, verse 25, and forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple, and that they shall profane the Sabbath and festival days.
God, you see?
So we couldn't perform none of our laws or in our customs according to our heritage. When Antiochus Epiphanes IV came into power and he made the decree of everybody following the Hellenization way, you know?
And in a sense, you know, just to add on what you're saying, there are certain things in the law that we can't practice. You know, so in a sense, certain things of that nature are back again. You know, like for example, if your woman committed adultery on you, hey, you got the right to, you know, put her to death, man. But guess what? In this kingdom, you do that, hey, they'll they'll bury you underneath the prison, man. Forget, you know, the pedos and all the, you know, the wicked people, the murderers, the warlocks, the gangsters, right? The drug dealers. They will bury you underneath them, man. You got it.
It says, and pollute the sanctuary of the holy people, set up altars and groves and chapels to idols, and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts.
See?
So they were doing that in the temple. You know, they were sacrificing pigs in the temple, man. They had a temple, a big ass statue of Zeus in the temple, and Jupiter, man. You know, and it shows you that on that Rugrats cartoon of the episode of Antiochus Epiphanes on the Greek Empire, man. You know,
Don't tell me the main character played as Epiphanes, man. Oh, what happened?
20%.
Oh God, let me see. How much more we got left? We got like we're doing like an hour, 30 minutes in.
We got like 20 minutes.
20 minutes. It should go. Well, let me see real quick.
it says